Hi everyone. The 6 foot track race has been monumental in my running journey. In my 20s and early 30s I wasn't a runner, and then in my 30s I started doing city to surf once a year, so that was my big race, was to build up to a 14 kilometre run. And then after a few of those, in 2004 I built up to a half marathon and did that, but it was definitely all road. Then in 2006, I made friends with a guy at work, Don Waden from the Hills Runners, and he was really excited about 6 foot track. And every run we'd go on, he'd tell me all about pluviometer and the run to the river and all that sort of stuff, and really got me hooked. So that year I got my qualifier by doing the old Willy to Billy course. Got my qualifier, so 2007 was my first 6 foot. So I did that without having really done the course, and did a 5:52. Was pretty chuffed with that, but knew I could do better. The next year I came out and did knocked nearly an hour off that and did a 4:56. So then I was thinking, wow, on this progression, I reckon by next year I should be a 6 foot sicko and have done it in under 4 hours and 11 minutes. I know a lot of people at the time were talking about that, and when I say that, this was before Facebook and Instagram, so where all the runners, and especially trail runners and endurance runners, all sort of got together online was the Cool Running website, and so that was where everyone was on. That's where I learnt all about race reports, writing race reports. A lot of people would have been wearing these sort of caps and this gear, and that's where I got the V-Star pseudonym for my Cool Running pages. Every year really has had something special about it. That after that first year in 2007, making friends, doing training on Megalong Mega, Tree to the River, those sort of key runs that I do every year as part of my training. And just meeting a whole lot of people like Spud and Brick and Blue Dog and Nat Watson, doing training runs with these sort of people who all had great histories in endurance running, and I was learning a lot from them. 2008 actually, I was on a training run with a group of guys training for the first North Face 100, and we all got talking about our 6 foot times, and there was a bunch of us who'd all done between sort of 15 to 20 minutes of the same finishing time. And one of the guys, Rod Cutler, decided, hey, we should make it a bit more interesting and have a race within a race. And that spawned the beer bet, which still goes on today. I'm hoping this year to finish my 10th beer bet. So that added more interest and kept a lot of people coming back, as if the race wasn't good enough on its own. So if I think about the running journey through 6 foot, I'm sure, that was my entry into doing things like North Face 100, all these other trail races that we used to do as training runs or fat ass events like the Australia Day Fatathon, which now most people would know as the Glenbrook Marathon, which is done in September rather than in January when we used to do it. And the Running Wild courses, so, Running Wild is sort of born out of these runs that people were doing together, just for training really and for fun. As I said, we had the beer bet after the first year, then we started raising money, so that was special. Again, there was one year that we all ran in pink skirts to raise money for the Jane McGrath Foundation. That was pretty good. In 2014, I got my belt buckle. That was my sixth 6 foot track race finished. So this year is my 12th. There's been a few years that I've missed, either through bushfires, flooding, 1 year from injury. Also 2014 was special. That was the year that we honoured the fireys after the October 2013 bushfires that ripped through the Blue Mountains. So that was pretty special, wearing that shirt to salute the RFS. 2016 was another special year for me, especially in terms of the beer bet. So that was when I earned my grey, the coveted grey beer bet shirt, New South Wales Institute of Beer shirt. Not too many people have got that for doing 6 beer bets. 2018 was also special for different reasons. So that was the year that to honour a beer better who had tragically passed away, a Central Coast runner, Mick Miles. We all formed the Mick Miles Mates and pretty much dominated all of the team's events that year. So every year has something special. I never did quite get to being a 6 foot sicko. My PB year was also 2016, where I did a 4:38. So I'm, probably these days more aiming to do a sub 4:30 rather than a sub 4 hour. But I'd like to think I'd still be able to get that one day. This year won't be it. This year with COVID and injury, I know I'm pretty much off the pace. I'll be lucky to do sub 5. I'll be wrapped if I can do a sub 5. But, the 6 foot track race is just so special. There's all these people that you might not see throughout the year anymore, but you see them on the starting line, or as you're passing them on the course, or as they're passing you, going up Pluvy or on the Black Range. There's so many parts to the 6 foot track race. That there's the descent down Nellie's Glen, there's the race to the river. Everyone should try and do that in under 1 hour and 15 minutes, and then you'll be fine for the rest of the race, trust me. There's also, there's the long hills going up Mini and Pluviometer. That also makes it special, and quite different for races that you get to do around Sydney, certainly. Then there's the long haul along Black Range, trying to keep the cramps away before you come into Cave's House, and then coming to Cave's House. That's really special. You could be sort of 2 or 3 kilometres up the hill, and you hear the roar of the crowd. You hear the cowbells for the first time. You might hear the announcer, coming through the speakers, and then it's just go hell for leather all the way down those last 2 or 3 Ks, again hoping to try and keep the cramps at bay, so that you can just fly in and finish in a time that you're happy with. As I said, this year training's not been so great. Managed to do the Megalong Mega a couple of weeks ago. Next weekend we've got the Tree to the River time trial. That's another standard that I always try and do before a 6 foot. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race again. This time with COVID and without the wave starts, it'll be different again. So it's just more special memories for people to remember about the race. So good luck everyone. Enjoy the last bit of the training and your taper, and I'll see you on race day.